What's going on YouTube, and welcome back into another episode of the Hobby Headquarters, coming to you from the Hollywood Rip studio here in insanely hot, like 105 degrees hot, Hollywood, California. As usual, I'm Mr. Hollywood, that's Joe Nasty. To my right, I am recovering from a wedding. Just flew in a mere couple of hours ago. I haven't gone to a club and gotten bottle service for probably 10 years. That happened.
Yeah.
So, yikes.
Did anyone come around and be like, oh my God, I've seen your YouTube. This one's on me?
It happened a lot, actually.
Yeah, I figured.
That's how we got the table.
Your eyes are so bloodshot, I can't believe it.
That's how we got the table. But a lot of hobby news to come at you today. A $1 million bounty was pulled but not redeemed.
No.
That 61 Fleer grocery store Wilt that we talked about, that sold privately this past week. PSA graded a record number of cards in August. Surprise, surprise. And we have updates, of course, on the Olympic 1 of 1 autograph, the MLB, as well as the NFL. Football is finally back. Week 1 started Thursday night. Today is Sunday, so most of the games were played. The Rams are still playing the Lions right now as we speak, as we're recording this. But let's start with Victor Wembanyama, that 1 of 1 Superfractor autograph out of Topps Chrome. That card was finally pulled. Well, not finally pulled. That card was literally pulled on like day 2 or 3 of the release. And of course, Blez Sports Cards had a $1 million bounty on it. The card was pulled in China, and it was pulled by a non-breaker. So that, that is kind of fresh news. It's nice to see a non-breaker hit a massive card like this. Now, we're a good week plus since then. Mm-hmm. And this person has not claimed that $1 million bounty yet. I don't know if he's shopping it around. I know he has spoken with something Blesnik. I forget his first name. He's spoken with the guy who offered this $1 million bounty, but they could not apparently come to an agreement. Maybe this card is at PSA getting graded. Maybe there's someone else willing to...
From China?
Yeah, well, no, of course, from China. Maybe there's someone out there willing to offer more. If it's me, man, Blez is located in Las Vegas. That's about a 3.5 to 4 hour drive from right here. Mm-hmm. If I pulled that card, I would have been in Vegas faster than you can possibly imagine, handing it to him and collecting that $1 million in cash. What are your thoughts on the fact that this card still has not been claimed in terms of the bounty? Crazy bounty.
We still don't know where in China?
No.
Not Xi'an?
No. We've been over this.
Not Nanjing?
And Peking is a duck.
Not Guangzhou?
Not Guang... I think it's Guangzhou, actually.
Not Hangzhou?
It's not Hangzhou. No. Or Wuhan.
Wuhan? Have you heard of Wuhan before?
Yeah, I think that's where COVID came from, is it not?
Oh, right, yes. I thought it sounded familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be right down the road. You'd probably be in Barstow right now. What about that drive, though, from Chongqing? I can't pronounce that. What's the drive from there to Las Vegas? I mean, we don't know who this is. It could be the guy that started Alibaba. It could be someone that lives in one of those brand new high rises you see in China that were made in like a week. So, I mean, they may not know about the bounty. To be honest.
No. They know about it. They've spoken. They have, as I said earlier, they've spoken to Jared Blesnik about the bounty. He's the one who offered it. They have been in contact, but he has not accepted it.
So they could be from Shenzhen.
Yes, they could be from Shenzhen. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and guess that they're not taking a boat to get here if they do decide to take that bounty. I suspect what's probably going on is this guy is either grading the card right now, or he is just shopping it around, taking his sweet time, or I guess he's just like a super collector and says, you know what, I'm never going to pull anything like this in my life. I'm just going to keep it. But Is that the smartest financial decision? No. But as a purist hobby collector, we love to see that.
Yeah, and
You know?
people from Hefei, you just really don't know what their intentions are.
I feel like you're just making up Asian cities at this point.
It's a Chinese city. I did have to look
Hefei
at
does not sound Chinese at all.
Hefei. How else would that be pronounced? Hefe?
No, I mean, it's probably Hefe. Well, I don't know.
It's not the Spanish word Hefei.
I'm only half. I'm only half Asian. I did not complete my training.
I'll stop it at Foshan.
Anyways, we're going to move to our second hobby story of the week, and that's the 1961 Fleer Wilt Chamberlain rookie card that, as you all remember, was found in a grocery store closet and graded an SGC 10. It is the only 10 of any kind in existence of this 61 Fleer Wilt Chamberlain.
In the spices rack, right? The spice rack?
Yeah, in the Spice Out,
That's
right,
what I thought.
McCormick's. Next to the steak and chicken all-purpose seasoning. But we talked about this and what we thought it was worth. We had like a is this a $1 million card question mark. Our answers, our questions were answered. Just this past week, Golden confirmed in a private sale that SGC 10 61 Fleer Wilt sold for not 1 million, not 1.1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 million, not 1.6 million,
Well, I wonder what it is.
not 1.65 million.
It's like a Monty Python sketch.
It sold for $1.7 million. Million.
I was going to say 1.8.
A $1.7 million Wilt Chamberlain SGC 10 Fleer 61 rookie card. Clearly, this was a big-time collector that could not say no to having this in his collection.
Yeah.
Or her. You never know. I think it's pretty cool. I'm not surprised that it went for 1.7, honestly. Do I think it's a little steep? Yeah, sure. I think it's a little steep. I think the 9s go for like 250,000. So considering that, although this is a population 1, right? So you can never get this again. So I can understand why you'd pay 1.7. You know, I think if there are more buyers for this, obviously, if there's more buyers, the price would probably go up, actually. But I honestly, for what it is, probably the most dominant player in their era in NBA history, I don't have a problem with it. I think 1.7 is a totally reasonable sale. What are your thoughts on this 61 Wilt?
Yeah, I mean, something's worth what someone's willing to pay for it, right?
Right.
So I think we talked about, what was it, last week? For a player like Wilt Chamberlain, who basically exists in mystery and is shrouded in the unbelievable, an enormous price tag for something that was found through happenstance and kind of crazily. I think that just sort of plays along with what and who Wilt Chamberlain is. And so, yeah, I think that's fine. I dig that. I think that's about worth it. For someone like Wilt Chamberlain, Mr. 100, even though we have no video of it, right?
It happened.
Yeah. No, it happened.
It happened.
We have the sheet.
Yeah.
The picture.
Yeah, we have the picture of the sheet. Obviously, Topps Chrome released a LeBron James card. You know how he did the picture thing with the sheet that said when he scored 40,000 points?
Yes.
I think that card's a big sleeper, actually. Maybe we'll talk about it in our next episode. I'll put a picture on the screen for you. But that's the LeBron James 40,000 card I'm talking about. Obviously, it pays homage to Wilt holding up the 100 sign. I think the numbered parallels of that card will actually historically do very, very well. But we're going to move to our next hobby story, and that is PSA. Seems like we have one of these come out of PSA like every other month now. But PSA graded 1.8 million cards in August. That is the most cards they've ever graded in any calendar month. I bet you we will be sitting here in October saying that they graded 2 million cards, and it is the most cards they have ever graded in any month. I kind of harp on it. I'll harp on it again. Cards today are printed to the moon. And I mean, like, in a lot of cases, more than the junk wax era. And so what that tells me is, in my opinion, and you guys can all have an opinion of your own, but I think any card at this point that is not numbered, will not hold any value at all down the road unless you have like a silver prism or some sort of short printed card that's maybe not serial numbered, but like the base cards, the amount of base cards that I'm seeing getting graded, like look at like Wemby's base card in a PSA 10 has a population count of like close to, I want to say it's close to 20,000.
Yeah.
You know? Like there's just no way that actually ends up carrying long-term value. Of course the silver prisms, which are very short printed, all the serial numbered stuff I think will do very well, but I think people need to slow down on grading base cards. Like it doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, it's like know your lane, right?
Like you?
No, I agree with you, and I was just sitting here just like, no matter what you just asked me, I was going to agree because it was like really forceful. So, so you could have said...
I am forceful when I am drinking Celsius, by the way. Thank you to our sponsor, Celsius.
Thank you so much.
Live Fit, Peach Vibe Sparkling White Peach Edition.
That's what they call my behind.
This flavor, guys,
so good.
fire.
So good. Fire. Look at you. You're so hip with the times.
I know.
No, it's like...
Word.
No cap? Yes cap.
What does that mean?
You don't know what no cap means?
No.
Oh, God. It's like someone... If you like...
I mean, I feel like I should be saying, oh, God, that you know what no cap means.
Yes, I do hang around the youth in a variety of ways.
Yeah.
So
Hype.
If like... No, you're sort of backtracking on the terms.
Okay.
Like if you said something, it's like, that's cap. I think you're lying. So if I think that's truth, you'd be like, no cap.
So why wouldn't you just say I don't believe you?
Right, because people are too lazy to actually like speak the language.
Okay. Once again,
No cap.
I am perplexed.
Like if you said, I think people should be grading these base cards, I'd say that's cap. And you'd be like, no cap, I think they should. But I'm saying that's a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. You following?
I follow what you're saying, but I'm not going to do it.
No, you shouldn't. I don't think the people that have been subscribing in droves, I should say, I don't think that's why they're tuning into this program.
We actually, thanks guys, we actually had a 30% gain in followers over the past like 8 to 10 days. Whatever he said. I don't know what that means. He's my connection to the younger generation.
That was the right use, trust me.
He's literally one month younger than me.
Less than.
But let's move to our next topic, and that is, of course, an update on the Olympics triple autograph card. How can we not go a show without having an update on that? It has still not been found. No one has pulled it. People are getting these packs in the mail. We'll put a picture of the pack on the screen. If you get one of these packs in your shipment, that means you have some sort of short print or serial numbered card or the triple autograph redemption. It's a redemption card, so the autograph isn't live in the mail. That would probably be a disaster if USPS were to drop that out of the back of the truck and it were live. Oh, yeah. But we did have the 1-of-1 gold parallel pulled already. Who knows what that card will do? But these packs that basically tell you have a chance at getting the card have been selling on eBay this week for between $2,500 and $3,000.
Not worth it.
It's crazy. What else did Topps do? Topps issued an email. We'll also put that email on the screen for you. It basically says, oh, if you haven't received your order yet, it is delayed. We're sorry, yada, yada, yada. If you'd like to cancel your order, you can do so for a full refund. But let me tell you this. A whole lot of orders have already gone out. And the 1-of-1 triple auto has not been pulled yet. Mm-hmm. I have not received mine. So, I ain't canceling my order, Topps. Because I still got a shot. Probably not. But there's a chance.
Not throwing away your shot?
I'm not throwing away my shot. If I get one of those packs, I will probably sell it on eBay. What are your thoughts on the triple auto not surfacing? Also, Giannis Antetokounmpo apparently has offered like $1 million for it.
Really?
So I don't,
Okay.
I don't know if
this
that's
guy.
like confirmed, but what are your thoughts on the triple auto? Would you if you I know you didn't order it. If you were in my position,
You don't know that.
would you cancel it? Would you keep it? What would you do? And what if you got the pack? Would you sell it or would you open it?
I, as people know, am very anti this card. It is now September. I couldn't care less, even more so. So I guess I could care less.
You could, yeah, you could.
About anything Olympic related. And I hate saying that. That being said, should yours come through and we open it live on air, and so recorded on air, and you have it, I reserve the right to act like I've cared this entire time and to be very exuberant. But apart from that 0.00001% chance of happening, whatever.
Less.
Yeah, less.
000.
You're all wasting your time. You're all wasting your effort. No one cares about the Olympics except for 1 month every 4 years.
Yeah, but someone's going to care enough to pay $1 million for this thing.
And they're fools. Much like I thought the Wilt one was worth it, hard disagree.
Hard pass on this one.
Hard pass.
I don't have a problem with you saying that, honestly. I do think we've talked about it. I think it'll go down. I think it'll be worth 20% of what it actually ends up selling for at auction one day. Just my thought. But we got to move on because we got to get to our MLB update. Yankees up a half game. Am I right? I don't know.
check.
I checked this like 4 or 5 hours ago. There were still a few games playing, but actually I have it right in front of me. That works out too. Yankees are half a game up on the O's. Cleveland.
Trust yourself.
Cleveland 2.5. That's wrong.
That is wrong.
Cleveland 2.5 up on the Royals. The Houston Astros up 4.5 games on the Seattle Mariners. Philly up 7 over the Mets and the Braves. Milwaukee is +9 and the Dodgers +6 as we head into the home stretch. About 20 games left in the season. Let's talk a little bit this week about the MVP races and Rookie of the Year races. Obviously, I think we can pretty much conclude at this point that the NL MVP and AL MVP are wrapped up.
I think so.
Shohei Ohtani will win and become the first DH to win any MVP. He will win NL MVP, which will make him the second player ever to win MVP awards in both leagues. Aaron Judge will win the MVP in the AL. I think the one that a lot of people are watching here is the NL Rookie of the Year race. And I think it's a fascinating race here between Jackson Merrill and Paul Skeens. Merrill has been fantastic. I mean fantastic. And we'll touch on Merrill later this week in our other episode, The Cardboard Critics. But Merrill's been unbelievable. So has Skeens. What are your thoughts on the MVP races, Rookie of the Year races, how the season shakes up? We have 20 games left.
Wow.
Who's in and who's out come September? Come the end of September.
What is this, the college football playoff selection show?
This is exactly what it is.
I wish I had that power. In terms of the MVP, oh, and by the way, you are correct. Ohtani will become only the second player ever to win an MVP in both leagues, the first being Frank Robinson, Reds and Orioles.
His autograph is right there, Mr. Frank Robinson.
Set it up perfectly. There was a slight ember of an argument emanating only from the East Coast, saying that perhaps Francisco Lindor should be the MVP because he plays defense. But then people were quick to pull up the side-by-side statistical comparisons, and I kid you not, the only categories that Lindor had over Ohtani were games played, and it was like a game or two, and it was at-bats, which probably came from the games played that he has.
Look, no one's close to Ohtani. It doesn't matter if they play the field or not. His stats are so ludicrous, it really does not matter.
No, and I think it was just like we're in New York, everything matters about New York, but he plays defense. And like everyone's like, no. Ohtani literally is the most valuable player. Like without him, the Dodgers are probably actually not making the playoffs the way they played in the middle of the year.
Right.
And he also is having the best statistical hitting year in the National League. It's not an argument. National League Rookie of the Year is an argument, and it's fascinating. Because it seems as if Jackson Merrill has taken over
Yeah.
And he is actually the odds-on favorite. His hot play is coinciding with the scalding record that the Padres have had for, what do you want to call it, 2 months or so?
Yeah, since the break.
Basically since the All-Star break. And it's made the betting favorite, like I said. His elite bat-to-ball skills are playing as expected. He's not striking out. He's got enough power. His average is right there.
Stealing bases.
He's stealing bases. He's playing a good center field. And to be honest, considering what's happened with the Padres and what he's done, I hate to say it, but I think Jackson Merrill probably is your National League Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I think what this really comes down to is who is most valuable to their teams, right? Like Shohei, for example. He's the most valuable player on the best team in baseball, and that team wouldn't be anywhere without him. You look at Jackson Merrill and the injuries that the Padres have dealt with in the outfield, specifically with, say, Tatis, who is back now. Without Jackson Merrill, I don't know that the Padres would be in this position. That being said, the Pirates, Paul Skeens, he's the other guy people are talking about, but the Pirates are not in contention.
No.
So, in terms of relevance, Jackson Merrill, in my opinion, and according to all Vegas odds as well, has the edge up on this Rookie of the Year.
I think, was it you? I think it was the notes you passed along. Do we think there's Skeens fatigue, maybe a bit?
Yeah, I think there is.
think so?
We'll talk about
Yeah.
that more also.
Preview.
Yeah, in our next episode. But we're going to hop right into our NFL update. It's like our first real NFL update.
Truly.
Because the season is, dare I say now, well underway.
It's happening.
It is happening, yeah. We've played one game. And we've already had some pretty crazy news. This is Sunday evening for us right now in Los Angeles. The Rams are leading the Lions 20-17 right now in the fourth quarter. But earlier this morning, Tyreek Hill was arrested for speeding in his McLaren, like literally right outside of the stadium.
Well, they do host F1 at that stadium, right?
They do. They do. Who knows? Maybe he was recreating the track. I don't know. I don't know. As if the cheetah needs a McLaren on top of being a cheetah and on top of it being an F1 track.
Right.
But somehow, Tyreek Hill ended up on the ground, face down in handcuffs, being pushed down by police officers. We have the video of it, and we will show the video now, so we will run that for you. We don't know really what happened, aside from the fact that he was pulled over for a traffic violation. I heard it was speeding, but who knows what it was. Apparently his window tint was so dark that that's what spooked the cops, and they got them so riled up to throw him on the ground or something. I don't know. I really don't know, so I can't comment on that.
A lot to come from this.
Yeah. Apparently this police officer is under administrative leave now as they're investigating why this happened.
Yeah.
One of his teammates actually, I think in a Rolls Royce, saw this happening on the side of the road and stopped and tried to, it was Calais Campbell, stopped to try and help this out, and then he got in trouble for disobeying police orders. So it's just a mess. But somehow Tyreek Hill still played and had like over 100 yards and a touchdown, as usual.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting start to our Sunday morning, but we're going to run off the very quick summary of what happened in the first week of the season. The Chiefs began their title defense, obviously going for a third straight Super Bowl. I believe it would be the first team to do that since.
I don't even know. Probably like the Steelers, right?
Yeah, I don't know either.
Maybe like the Cowboys. I'll look it up.
Yeah. Look it up. But,
I'm doing it.
But Thursday night, of course, they got a W over the Ravens by literally an inch, like literally 1 inch.
A toenail.
If Isaiah Likely had a white cleat on, as Patrick Mahomes said, they might have gotten away with a touchdown there. And what would have been really cool is they were going to go for two, because they lined up for two and the win before it was overturned. So, man, what an amazing start to the season we had on Thursday. The Patriots stunned the Bengals.
Big time.
Joe Burrow did not look comfortable. Jamar Chase did not get off to a good start. And that Patriots defense looked stifling. Ramondre Stevenson got into the end zone at least once, I think. The Bills outlasted the Cardinals. Marvin Harrison Jr. was awful in his NFL debut. I think he had 1 catch for 4 yards or something. He's on my fantasy team, so...
So there's a little extra juice behind that note.
Yikes, yeah. The Vikings shut down Daniel Jones
what a
and the
result.
Giants on the road. Surprise, surprise, Daniel Jones is not a good NFL quarterback.
Darnold looked okay, though.
Darnold did look okay. I was impressed by the Vikings defense. Vikings secondary actually looked pretty good, considering what they've gone through this offseason. I think Aaron Jones will be a big addition to them as well. But the Bears got a 7-point home win. Caleb Williams made his debut. He sucked.
No offensive scores or touchdowns.
Yeah, I think he completed like 50% of his passes, or maybe even less, for literally like 90 yards. But he didn't throw a pick. So.
Did you see that Levis interception?
No, I did not. I was on an airplane.
Technology these days. No, it was just look up Will Levis week 1 interception against the Bears. It was as putrid of a decision. Well, he's going to the ground and he flung it.
Yeah,
just hoping for the best.
Well, talk about putrid. The Panthers.
Oh yeah, no, that's a
got
transition.
destroyed by the Saints, 47-10, I think.
Interceptions for Bryce Young.
Bryce Young looked so bad in this one. He threw a pick on his very first drop back of the season. It wasn't even close.
No.
So Bryce Young cards, not looking good. The Texans snuck past the Colts on the road. This was a fun one.
Yeah.
Battle of second-year quarterbacks, Stroud versus Richardson. Texans just sneaking by. Joe Mixon had a great game for the Texans. Stephon Diggs caught his first touchdown as a Texan. Nico Collins went for 100+. Texans offense looking good, but Anthony Richardson, the Colts, I'm not going to lie, they look pretty decent too.
2 really aggressive. I loved how the coaches actually approached this one. And I think it's 2 second-year coaches as well.
Yeah.
Shane Steichen in Indy and D'Amico Ryans looking fit on the sideline for the Texans. They were both aggressive with their play calling. They're both aggressive when they went for it. It was really entertaining, like you said.
Yeah, no, great game. Falcons dropped their home opener to Justin Fields and the Steelers.
Not even Russ.
Yeah, not even Russ. Although Russ
probably would have lost that game.
Probably would have, yeah, at this point. Their offense looked flat out bad.
It did.
I mean, it looked flat out bad. Kirk Cousins was and obviously Kirk Cousins is coming off an Achilles tear. Cousins did not look good. Bijan Robinson did not look good. Drake London had a few catches. Pitts didn't look. I mean, this whole team just did not look good. And honestly, the Steelers didn't look great either. So, but week 1, we'll see where these teams end up down the line. The Dolphins edged the Jags in Miami. Wait, yeah, they did.
Yeah, they won.
Yeah,
Game.
but
field goal to end the game.
Yeah, but that offense, I think a lot of people expected a lot more out of. They didn't put up a ton of points today.
Could you say they need to take the cuffs off their offense?
That's might be a little far.
Oh, that's too far?
It might be a little too far.
It's a traffic incident.
Devon Achane,
he had 70
who
yards.
we talked about,
Yes.
got stifled up on the run game. But yes, as I told you earlier, he is starting to become a receiver as well.
Which was your point, yes.
Which was kind of my point. And I do think he will be significant RB1. And it was clear that he was more useful to this offense than Raheem Mostert. So that's a good sign for Devon Achane fantasy holders going forward. The Chargers bested the Raiders 22-10 at home here at SoFi just down the road. Devontae Adams is apparently not quarterback proof because he was not very good with Gardner Minshew at quarterback. Not that anyone's really good with Gardner Minshew at quarterback.
He actually targeted the tight ends a lot more also. Minshew was really safe checking down because they have some good tight ends.
Yeah.
So
check down, dump down. I mean, when you don't have an elite quarterback or an elite arm, that's what you do.
Only 10 points though, so it didn't even work. No.
Yeah. So honestly, just throw it up to Gardner. Just throw it in the air to Devontae, and he will catch it like 80% of the time.
Probably.
I'm telling you. Seahawks over the Horses. The Broncos went down 26-20. Bo Nix struggled. No touchdowns, 2 picks. Did rush for a touchdown. We talked about Bo Nix cards last week. There's just no talent around him. There's no explosion around him. So, predictably so, they struggled.
Yeah.
The Cowboys were too much for the Browns on the road. It was ugly for Deshaun Watson, who was given another chance this year. So far not panning out, although it's kind of a small sample size. The Bucks crushed the Commanders at home. Jaden Daniels wasn't that bad, though. But Baker Mayfield was crazy good. Baker Mayfield is having like one of these late career resurgences.
Yeah, he is.
His cards will honestly probably like never really be worth a whole lot. But good to see the former number 1 overall pick finally kind of find the right system, come into his own.
Yeah.
But the game that I think everyone's looking forward to, and this is going to be take 2 for Aaron Rodgers, because I think it was Monday night last year.
It was Week 1, Monday night.
Week 1, Monday night, the 49ers play host up at Levi's Stadium to Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets. Hopefully he doesn't tear an Achilles within the first 3 minutes.
3 minutes. It was the first 4 plays of the season.
That's true. That's true. Do you have any thoughts on Aaron Rodgers? What are you expecting out of Rodgers? I think the Jets in SF, I'm going to go ahead and say I think they're going to lose by double digits.
Yeah.
Double digits.
He couldn't have picked a worse situation to come back to.
No.
Probably, I mean, if they're not the best, they're certainly the second best defense in the league. Oh, and by the way, you have Nick Bosa and Chase Young and nipping at your heels, and Fred Warner.
Yeah.
Who knows everything that every offense is going to do from the linebacker position. So yeah, to go cross country with the Jets to take on this Niners team, which is sniffing Super Bowls. Yeah. Oh, by the way, do you want to know the last team that won 3 straight Super Bowls? I have no answer because it's never happened.
The Chiefs are looking to become the first team ever to win 3 Super Bowls in a row. We'll see if it happens.
Yeah.
But thanks for stopping by into the Hobby headquarters for this week's episode. Hope you enjoyed the weekly update. Football is back. We love that. But remember, if you like today's episode, we'd love to hear from you down below in the comments. A like and a subscribe would be greatly appreciated as well. So from both of us here at Hollywood Rips, Mr. Hollywood and Joe Nasty, out.